he is not the most skillful fighter in the world. However, he has a way, as all successful fighters do, of landing his shots. And he's got like stone, it's like he got bricks in his hands, right? He's a heavy-handed guy. And Devin, we have seen you dropped before, right? So before I even get to you, not to talk about you as though you're not here, how dangerous is this a fight for Devin Haney, a guy who can make it ugly? What do you think about the A side, B side, Doug? We haven't got.
I don't think there is an A side, B side. I mean, listen, boxing is show business, and Ryan moves the needle in that way. He knows how to get attention, and I love Devin, but Devin's like me.
Rolly is a lot lesser version, but he's a knockoff version of Prince Nassim Hamid. Prince Nassim Hamid. If he hit you, you're gonna know you've been hit because he got unusual punching power. They were like, nah, that's a real watered down version. Yeah, it's a watered down version, but then it's watered down as y'all think it is. Because when you get in the ring and you feel that thing with your chin, it's a different thing. So it's watered down, but it's watered down as y'all think it is. Now, you've been in the ring with a lot of people.
Max Kellerman analyzes the showdown between Devin Haney and Romero, calling Romero a real threat, but he believes Haney's size and skill could let him outbox Rolly with precision.
Rolly is a really dangerous puncher. He is not in your class. Rolly, I keep calling him Rolly.
Rolly. Who cares?
I have something wrong in my brain when it comes to names. Something's missing. But he's not in your class, and you should outbox him. Now I can picture a situation where second half of the fight, you're way up. He's awkward. He's throwing bricks, and so there are clinches. Whoever initiates it, but you guys wind up. And then after the fight, I'm critical. On the other hand, I could also see you like a fight. You're in this situation going, I'm not gonna sit on the lead. I'm gonna keep, and then he catches you, and that's something stupid. So it like puts you in a no-win position.
Devin Haney vows to show his full skill and relentless determination when he steps into the ring against Romero.
Fun, and I show how good I really am. I think that with a guy like Rolly, I'm able to showcase a lot more in my arsenal. I'm able to bring out a lot more tools and really open.
Haney will need sharp focus and quick adaptation to handle Romero's unpredictable style, promising fans a full display of his skills inside the ring.
Going to be fighting Rolly. What can you tell us at this moment?
Yeah, I can't say that it's a done deal yet. We're working on it. I think that it's very likely that it will happen. I think that it's a good fight for boxing. He has a very awkward style, and that's what makes it hard for guys to beat him. And that's where we see that Ryan had a lot of trouble with him, just because he just didn't know how to adjust to his.
Haney will need laser focus and quick adjustments to handle Romero's unpredictable moves in the ring.
How dangerous is this a fight for Devin Haney, a guy who can make it ugly?
It's interesting because if you compare Devin with Rolly in terms of natural talent, ring intelligence, skill, technique, everything
different class
towards Devin. Devin has the advantage. But when you talk about styles, Rolly is unorthodox. Rolly is awkward. And we've seen in the past where an unorthodox fighter.
You're going to bring it. You're going to bring it up. I know where you're going.
Versus Ricardo Mayorga.
I knew it.
And Sergio Mora.
Doug. You and me. I got it.
Both Mayorga and Mora had unorthodox styles. They didn't work off their jabs. They didn't necessarily move in the right directions. But there's a method to their madness. And they were world-class fighters. And on the best night of their professional careers, they were able to upset an elite.
Du Fisher tells Kellerman that Haney's sharp intelligence and natural talent give him the edge, even though Romero's unusual style makes him a tricky opponent.
Who you respect and who you don't respect in the game, where does Haney rate on, I guess, the Rolly ranking system on, as far as a skilled fighter or a guy you respect on what he does? Or does it depend on if he signs the contract for the fight?
Haney on Twitter, there's no respect. Haney in person, he doesn't speak. So I mean, he's just a chill kid. Now Devin Haney on Twitter, because he's a keyboard warrior, he think he's a big tough guy. So on the internet, but then.
Romero admits that all the online trash talk is just for show, showing genuine respect and sportsmanship toward Haney when they meet face to face. Both fighters have sparred in their prime, giving them a deep understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses, insights that could shape their strategy in the upcoming unification clash.
Haney versus Rolly Romero. They're saying it's almost a done deal. I didn't expect that fight to happen that quick, but it's going to be an interesting fight. You know, we're seeing Rolly a lot. You know, when Rolly started, his career, like we say, oh, he's awkward. Like, oh, he's another Ricardo Mayorga, and he's this and he's that. But just look at Rolly's resume recently. I mean, it's not bad at all. And now to face Devin Haney, I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. It's just split down the middle right now. Just seeing it. Do you see it as a 50-50 fight, or who do you favor more in that one?
It's not 50-50. It's can Rolly catch Devin? Because if Rolly can't catch, it's just like the Ryan fight was. If Rolly can't catch Devin, they're gonna whitewash him. But if you catch Devin early and hurt Devin, it can become a 50-50 fight. You understand me? I told you the same thing when he fought Ryan. I told the guys.
Roy Jones Jr. warns that even with Haney's skill, Romero's raw power and unpredictability make this a high-stakes fight where real damage could happen.
This is the kind of guy Devin is, and I said it on my own channel. I said sometimes guys like this don't get the credit they may deserve because they disarm you, they disassemble you. They kind of disassemble the bomb instead of being the ones who drop the bombs. And Devin is more of a guy who just strips you naked and be like, all right, bro, you got nothing left now. You know what I mean? Instead of disarming you or disassembling you completely, where even a layman can be impressed by that. While the guy who takes you apart little by little, sometimes he doesn't get enough credit because it's not as sexy. It's not as flashy. It's not as the big bombs aren't impressing the layman. But nonetheless, this was against probably the most talked about of the welterweight champions. Listen, we've talked about this welterweight division is a bit weak, but nonetheless, Norman was the most talked about of the welterweight champions. So he did it against Norman. He didn't do it against Barrios, who I think, I'll repeat that, I'm not really that impressed with. He didn't do it against Rolly, who can be hot and cold depending on when you catch him. Yeah, he'd been hot and cold in the past, but was on a little bit of a tear here. And as a young guy, was impressing a lot and was the talk of the welterweight division, especially with Ennis gone. And to do it against that guy and to do it the way he did it and score a knockdown in the process, you got to give credit where credit's due, especially because you got to be a little bit of a psychiatrist here. Or you don't know where Devin's head was at after the Garcia situation and the JC Ramirez fight. That's why, Champ, I give you credit if you were that sure a month ago, because that's the only thing too with me. It's like if it's a Devin Haney who's hesitant, and I don't know because I'm not in his head.
Paulie Molinagaji highlights that Haney deserves respect for his relentless drive to grow, prove himself, and confidently take on the dangerous Rolly Romero. Wade Plemons breaks down the matchup, noting that Devin Haney chose Rolly Romero over a rematch with Ryan Garcia to unify his title. Plemons explains that the fight style clash makes it intriguing. Romero's aggressive forward pressure and heavy punches meet Haney's smart movement, precise jab, and ability to control the center of the ring.
This is all formulating to be right up to the finish line. And I know in boxing, nothing's ever finished until it's officially signed and really until guys get in the ring. But, knock on wood, I think this is going to be the fight we see on May 30th. And listen, it's a good fight. It's a unification bout. It is an interesting style matchup where Rolly is very aggressive and he will walk forward and throw heavy punches. He walked forward on Gervonta and had a lot of success before, obviously, being knocked out. But he's walked forward in a lot of his fights and taken the fight to people. Sometimes that plays right into Devin Haney's hands. He can use his feet. He can jab. He can move. And eventually, outbox you or put you in the center of the ring and then implement his offense, even get a little bit aggressive himself.
The outcome of this fight has major implications for future matchups. A Romero win could set up a rematch with Ryan Garcia, shaking up the 147-pound division. Haney's team is focused on smart, strategic choices, but Romero's power and unpredictable style make him a real threat. Wade Plemons also dismisses talk of Clarissa Shields taking on Romero, stressing the challenge of top-level competition, while Oscar de la Hoya points out that a Haney versus Garcia clash would make more sense, underlining the rivalry and high stakes at play.
Rolly is very unorthodox. He's very strong, right? But I'm way taller than him, way longer than him, and got better boxing skills.
That Rolly knocked her down in sparring, and she blamed it on the no padding in the gloves, and even though she had headgear on and they were probably 16-ounce gloves, she still hit the canvas. Stop that nonsense. Just stop it. Clarissa's not knocking out Rolly or any top-level fighter, male fighter, in the world. It's not happening. So just to address that, But then we go to Oscar De La Hoya for his thoughts here, and I want to hear what he said about the fight, because I kind of agree with Oscar. I don't think that Devin Haney and Rolly should be fighting next. It should be Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, because it makes all the sense in the world. The rivalry needs it. They both have belts. You don't want to risk one losing it. And you get that answer to, was the first fight influenced by anything outside of the ring? Was the first fight a fluke for Ryan Garcia? Was it a true win? You get all those answers.
Tim Bradley warns that if Devin Haney struggles with Rolly Romero, he's not ready for Ryan Garcia. Romero's awkward, explosive style, punching from odd angles, off-balance feet, and sudden attacks, can trouble anyone. But Haney's mastery of the sweet science, sharp footwork, precise jab, and ability to read openings give him the tools to capitalize on Romero's mistakes. Bradley highlights how Romero overreacts to feints, letting Haney control the pace, while his 71-inch reach versus Romero's 66-inch arms gives him distance control and deadly counterpunching opportunities.
Negotiated or done for? Or? Yeah, is there an update on that at all, Oscar?
No update yet. No official update. But if you ask me personally, that's the fight that should happen next. Yeah. I think Devin Haney proved. I think Devin Haney proved. I think he proved he deserves the fight. So I think Ryan Devin should be next.
Roy Jones Jr. calls Rolly Romero a watered-down version of Preston Parsons, but warns that his unusual punching power can still be dangerous. Feeling his shots in the ring tells a different story. Romero has gained valuable experience facing tough opponents, likely sparring with top prospects like Devin Haney in Las Vegas, giving him insight into elite competition. Meanwhile, Haney knows exactly what he's up against and has improved with each fight, returning stronger after earlier criticism, dropping Brian Norman Jr., and showing he's ready to trade punches when necessary.